Welcome to the Have You Met You podcast. I'm your host, Sasha Pearl, the energy architect, and I guide soul-led women in building authentic six-figure businesses while aligning their identity, purpose, and message using my highly potent method. So let's get into it. Welcome. I'm so excited today. I have my cutie pie cat assistant here, Hazel. So if you hear him purring, you'll know what's happening. Anyways, okay. So today we're going to continue the series of energy types in business, and we're going to go over the manifesting generators. So how manifesting generators build wildly successful, multi-passionate businesses is what we're going to get into. First off, I would love to start with just going over human design again. So human design is the science of our aura. We're in constant energy to everything because we are energy, and that is just science. So we hold an aura 7 feet in all directions of us, and we're in constant interaction of that. And human design spits out this roadmap, this body graph chart that you can grab at my website, designtobehuman.com/AD-chart to see what your energy type is. But you will see this map and it shows you where you're consistent, where your gifts are, and everything in between. And it takes in the Kabbalah, the I Ching, the chakra system, and astrology to really form the roadmap back to yourself. As we live through life, we are conditioned by society, by lived experiences, by trauma. And what this human design chart really looks at is your purest form of energy at birth. So we can use this as the path to remembering who we are again. And this system truly gives us full license to be exactly who we are. So let's get into it. We have 5 energy types, right? And we are all actually meant to work together. So we have the energy beings and we have the non-energy beings. And we're starting off with the energy beings. So we have the generators that we did yesterday, and then the manifesting generators that we're going to do today. Those two create about 70% of the population. And then the rest is the 30%, the non-energy beings. And those are the manifestors, the reflectors, and the projectors of the world. With the generating types, both manifesting generators and generators, you guys are both here to build the things that light you up. And specifically for a manifesting generator, you are here to be multi-passionate about everything that you do, because you could be excited about making sourdough one day, or you could be excited about river rafting. You may not understand what or why you are interested in this, but it is very important that you go after the things that you desire, because the more that you can do that, there is something in that opportunity and something in that experience that is specifically meant for you. And you may not know why you needed to do that. You may not know why you needed to experience that. But later on, when you are working in building your career, building your own business, or creating the legacy in which you are here to create, you will start realizing that the lessons that you learned in these specific hobbies or passions that you have no idea why you're attracted to them in the first place show up. So it's so deeply, deeply, deeply important to go after the things that light you up, okay? And what's cool about the manifesting generator, first of all, you're the most independent type. You have the most energy in the entire world. What's that like? Love you for it. And you're going to have a lot of hands in the pots of different things, right? And just making sure that you are absolutely lit up by what you are bringing forth into the world. So the more that you can say yes to your yeses, the more aligned that you are going to be and in flow with what you are here to do, creating energetic authenticity, right? And with a manifesting generator and the generating types in general, you guys have open and all enveloping auras, right? So the more that you can be in your yeses and less of the no's, that means that your aura is going to get bigger, brighter, and shinier, which is going to support you in attracting and responding to those opportunities that are meant for you. So back to what I think is really cool about the manifesting generator is that you have manifesting qualities and you have generator qualities, right? And so we'll talk more about the manifestor here later on in the pod, but the manifestors are here to inform and to initiate. So you have initiate, so you can go after what the fuck you want. And then you have the generating qualities, which you are here to just respond to life with. And so when you can balance those two out is where you're really going to find that like true alignment. So if you're constantly initiating things and forcing things to happen, you're going to burn out. If you're constantly waiting to respond to things, you're going to burn out. So you need a nice give and take for all of the things that you want. And you get to co-create with the universe in this way, which is like so beautiful. So what makes a manifesting generator and not a generator is that you have a defined sacral. So you and generators both have defined sacrals, but you have a motor connected to the throat. So if you're a true MG, you have the direct channel from the sacral to the throat. I believe it's the 2034, and that is like true manifesting generator energy. Or if you have the ego or the emotional center defined to the throat outside of the sacral, or the root, then you are also a manifesting generator. So anything that is giving a motor to the throat is what's going to make you a manifesting generator, which is really cool. And usually manifesting generators are the most defined, but there are some manifesting generators who just have the sacral and the throat defined and the rest are open. So those are really interesting ones who can, sometimes feel more like a projector because they're open and ready for conditioning. So the three things that you want to know, the biggest takeaway from understanding human design is always going to be your energy type, your strategy, and your authority. So your energy type, manifesting generator, you're super fast paced, super independent, and have lots of energy to do a lot of different things. Your strategy is to initiate and then respond, or to respond and then initiate, right? So speaking into the balance of the two energetic qualities that you have. And then your authority is either going to be emotional or sacral defined. So when we talk about the strategy to initiate or to respond, what I'm saying is it's coming from your sacral, your gut responses to things. So what's really cool about the sacral being defined is that you actually have guttural instincts that you can hear if things are correct for you or not. So for example, if someone asks you, do you want to go to pizza? And you're like, that's a no, right? Like your body is literally saying no. And then if someone asks you again at a different time and they're like, do you want pizza? And you're like, yeah, that'd be amazing. Like you can just hear it and like, uh-huh, uh-uh, uh-huh. And like your body is going to tell you what your body actually needs, right? So with human design, it is actually the science, like it's the science of our aura, but it's really speaking into how do we become more embodied into like what we're naturally here to do in the world, right? And so when the more that you can respond to opportunities, and these could be like walking down the street and then you see you're like, oh, feel inspired, or like a gut reaction to go into a store. Like that is you following your response to external things that are coming at you, right? And then when you want something, you have been responding to it. And then you're like, wait, I want that. Go and then initiate that into existence, right? So you have both of these qualities, which is super amazing. And this is how you differentiate from generators because you do have that defined throat. And so when you do have a defined throat, what you say matters. It holds weight and you are going to be energetically dominant in your own voice. Okay. And so manifesting generators and manifestors, or anyone with a defined throat, have very potent voices for the world. And that's not saying that people with open throats don't, they do. And so what's really, really important about keeping your sacral energy alive and honestly sacred is really honoring your yeses. So as a manifesting generator, like because you have so much energy, you have the opportunity to keep saying yes and yes and yes to all the invites. And sometimes those yeses are things where you do not want to even go to. And so then what does it do? It burns you out. It takes away from your more potent energy to work on the things that you want to do, right? So we think about your authenticity and it's in alignment with who you are. And you keep saying yes to things you don't want to do, you're going to move further and further and further away from the things that you actually want to be doing, right? And so this is going to cause burnout. This is going to cause your aura to contract. And we really want you to be big and open and all enveloping in any situation that you're in, because you have the aura where people want to literally just be in existence around you, especially if this like juicy, energetic aura, right? And you can feel when you are in a relationship to a lit up generator versus someone who's like definitely like off the path and not like honoring their own like unique system in how they make decisions. So use discernment when you are making plans, because we want you to be more lit up on the things, or like say yes to all the things that really light you up and start saying no to the things that don't really light you up. And I know as an MG, you're probably like, everything lights me up. I love this. I like that. And I swear to you, when I talk to you, I can tell if you are lit up by something or not. Just because you can does not mean that you should. Just because you have the energy does not mean you need to do it, right? And there's a lot of FOMO that happens. And also, you're going to understand without a doubt the power of the no. Because then what does that do? It gives you more space and more opportunity to say yes to the yeses that are actually lighting you up. So if you're a manifesting generator, your authority is going to be either emotional or sacral. Those are the only two it can be. And so if you have emotional authority, just know that your truth is not in the moment. It is not in the now. So the more that more space that you can give yourself. So sleeping on the decision, making sure that you're still excited about it the next day is going to be the best option for any decisions you make in your career, your business, or in relationships, right? And this also resolves the fact like of you bailing or being flaky, right? It's like you actually, when you commit because you are fully in authenticity when you say yes. So just knowing that you are going to exist in more highs and lows and just making sure that you are making decisions from your neutral space. And then if you are sacral defined, you do really well with yes or no questions, both generator types do. So if you really can't decide on what you want to do, have someone else ask you yes or no questions and literally hear what your gut is responding to. Uh-huh is a yes, or is a no, right? Feel your body contract or expand depending on your yes or no's, and that is how you're going to make decisions from there. But you do have feedback, simultaneous feedback from your body if you listen to it and if you practice this. So if you really want to start practicing like trusting the gut, have close friends ask you yes or no questions to really like help center you in your body and in the decisions, and play around and experiment with what sacral yeses feel like and what sacral no's feel like, right? Because we want to keep that sacral super juicy and lit up so you can actually be doing the work that you love in the world and have those opportunities come to you so you can respond to them. And with manifesting generators, there is a type of thing that happens where, because you are multi-passionate and you have your hands in a lot of different pots, people may think that you're all over the place, or you start things and then you don't finish things and they think that you're flaky. And how you really honor your sacral responses is like if you are lit up by fly fishing and you start fly fishing or whatever, and then one day it's like 2 days in, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore because you're not lit up by it and you just drop it. That is actually very healthy and correct for your sacral system. So honor those urges to end things as long as your body is literally telling you, I'm drained, I don't want to do this. Like really listening to your body's responses to the hobbies that you are putting on. The draining and the burnout happens when you are forcing yourself to stick with something because you said you're going to stick to it. The beautiful thing about MGs is that you are very nonlinear. You're going to have a very expansive life. You're going to have do a lot of different careers, a lot of different things. And that is exactly where you are meant to be. You guys are like the great innovators. I call you guys like the alchemists, the magicians, right? Because you're like, I have a hobby over here. I have a hobby over here. I have a skill set from here. I have a skill set from here. And now we're going to put it together in a pot. And then this is the new service and this is the new product, right? You guys are the great experimenters. You guys can create anything out of nothing. And you can move rapidly through these creations. So the more that you get out of your head that keeps you stuck from actually taking action on the thing that you desire, that is where, and you just take the action because your sacral says go, that is where the magic is really going to happen for you, because you never know, like in that fly fishing community, you're going to meet that one person who then hires you for a new job, a new career, a new business, or shows you a new hobby that then lands you somewhere else, right? Because the world for you is very nonlinear, and how you get there is through accessing your sacral gifts and your sacral desires, those full body yeses for you. So really paying attention and understanding and just like owning that if something does not feel good in your body anymore, stop doing it, put it down, and go spend more time doing the things that are really going to light you up from the inside out, because that is where your magic lives. That is how you're going to really open up those opportunities in that aura for more opportunities to come to you. Okay. And so now we're going to get into your strategy. So how you know that you are in alignment by honoring your sacral yeses and saying no to your no's, you will feel deeply satisfied by your life. Okay. And then on the other side of that is going to be frustration. So if you don't feel deeply satisfied by your life and you are every aspect of your life is more in frustration, you know that you are not in your unique authenticity, because you are literally here to do what lights you up, build the things that really rapidly build the things that you want to be building, and be in love with your life. Like, you have all of the access in the world to live a deeply satisfied life if you so choose, right? And then we have the frustration side, right? So if you were to write down a list of everything that's deeply satisfying for you and everything that's frustrating for you in, 4 quadrants of career, business, relationships, love, health, body, spirituality, write all those things down, like literally a column for each. And then in each of those columns, what is satisfying about it? What is not satisfying about it? Because the beautiful thing here is that we just need to come back to neutrality to move, yourself forward into satisfaction. So if you are in frustration, you have a list of frustration, how can you do one thing to move you closer to satisfaction, right? 1% closer to satisfaction is going to be better than keep continuing down on the frustration level or emotion. Okay. And so there's three things that you can do to support you in moving and choosing your energy in the moment. Three things are: one, don't do it. If you don't have to do it, don't do it anymore. Like, why are you forcing yourself to do something you don't want to do? Two, delegate it. If there is something that you really want or that you have to do and you have the means and resources to delegate it, go and do that, because we want to keep you in your zone of genius and in your zone of authenticity, right? So have someone else do it who would love to do the systems that you don't want to be doing or whatever that may look like for you. And if it's something that you have to do and you don't have the means or resources to do it, put yourself in an environment that feels deeply, deeply satisfying to you. And that is where the magic is really going to start opening up for you. And that's where the ease and the flow and the alignment is going to start working. But how, in any moment, if you're feeling frustrated by anything, can you move yourself over slightly into satisfaction? And that is your strategy for life, right? Like, the strategy is to respond. And once you respond, if you're doing it from authenticity and your guttural responses, then you're going to be deeply satisfied by those experiences. But if you're saying yes to something you don't want to do, you're going to be more in frustration. So, this is such a simple tool that you can use to really align yourself to your life. And I highly recommend writing down the list to really see what is coming up for you on those lists of frustrations and what are the things that how can you move frustration into satisfaction? Because the more that you can do that, the more that you're going to be in energetic authenticity to you. Some of your business superpowers is that you can rapidly manifest, right? You can build and rebuild faster than most anyone can because of the MG energy type. Have multi-passionate creativity, and all of those multi-passions usually end up in like the stirring pot of magical alchemy. So just honoring the desires, because you're never going to know when you're going to need those tools or those intuitive skill sets that you receive from those yeses. And your joy. When you follow excitement, your audience just feels it instantly, and that is magnetism at its core. You also have this trailblazing adaptability because you're able to burn shit down quickly and then rebuild it quickly, just as quickly. Okay. So just trust that you are this like magician. Welcome to the magic of your business, of your life, of your career. And you're really meant to be all of these different things. But the more that you can just honor the things that actually light you up and put down the things that are not serving you anymore, right? Because the generating sacral people of the world have a tendency to people please because of all the extra energy that they have. But I hope that you can honor your own boundaries within that and just experiment with saying no. Experiment with when you say no, you're actually creating more space to work on the things that you want to be working on. So, really honoring those sacred spaces to just be like, well, what's going to come up now if I say no to this? Okay. And this is all a practice, this is all an experiment. And I would love to hear how all of this lands for you and what really came up for you while listening to this podcast. MGs are really magical. And I really hope that some of this resonated and that you can start implementing who you are in the world. Okay, that's it for this one. Bye.